This is the Realty Classroom Podcast, episode number 34.
Welcome to the show that focuses on helping real estate agents build a bulletproof business plan so that they can sell more properties in less time and live a more fulfilled life.
Are you a real estate agent with an entrepreneurial spirit who wants to turn your job into a business without sacrificing your lifestyle, but you just can't seem to find the right plan to help you get there? Well, then you're definitely in the right place. Hey, I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Realty Classroom and the host of this podcast. And to help you take immediate action to build a better real estate agent business, whether you're a veteran or a rookie, doesn't matter, I've created a free jumpstart course for you over at freeagentgift.com. So get over there and get started. In this episode, what I want to cover is information versus insight. This is a really important topic. And during our mastermind this week, I was really emphasizing to try to help everybody understand the difference. And it starts off with this premise that I kept hearing for years about information and giving it away. In other words, hey, in the internet age, you have to give away your best stuff for free. I kept hearing it over and over and over, and I liked it because what the internet has done, or the internet age, the digital age, whatever you want to refer to it as, it has forced us to give away information. Because the days of having this proprietary control over information, especially in the real estate agent business, you understand, and all of a sudden what was once proprietary, access to the information, aka the listings, was all of a sudden public, thanks to realtor.com back in the mid-90s. It goes back that far. So our best stuff for free has been given away. But really, what is that? What are we giving away? So the distinction that I've made now is you're giving away your best information. That includes what to do. So sure, the listings are out there, and that's just a huge conglomeration of noise these days. And the internet's actually, sure, it makes it easy to access listings, but boy, does it get confusing to the consumer. But what I'm talking about today is more about you. I want to talk to you specifically as the real estate agent. You've heard all this concept of what makes you unique, and in a pretty big ocean of people that have a real estate license, it's hard to understand what makes you unique and what would you give away that was your best stuff. And even veterans get paralyzed with this. I did for quite some time. I had to wrap my head around it. And so this whole concept of uniqueness, you've heard me in this podcast before, if you've been listening along, say that what's unique and unduplicatable is in fact you. Okay, and I'll get into that in a second, where you really shine. But in the beginning, I think one of the best things to do is be unique in that you are really, truly a giver. I mean, a real, true giver's heart. So what we did in our mastermind is I took the time to, for the group, develop out a wireframe for sellers, for buyers, and then those of us that are recruiting agents. In other words, here's what we believe is universally the best process for a buyer, seller, or agent. And we wireframed it out. In other words, what do? We made 7 bullet points for sellers, 6 bullet points for buyers, and about 8, including a bonus section, for agents. And we put that into an infographic first, and then we developed an entire course around that. And it's what to do. But it's really, I give it to them and I said, I want you to give this away with a true giver's heart. Don't be covetous of this information. In other words, well, I'm only going to print that and spend that money and give it to somebody who's loyal to me. That's not it. That's not a true giver's heart. That's a mentality of scarcity. You have to believe that by giving away what to do information in this context, you have to believe that overall, in the long run, it will magnetically attract you back way more than you could ever imagine. So really giving away your best information of what to do is really a great starting point to free you of this mentality of scarcity, because let's just face it, folks, we don't have a scarce industry. There are trillions of dollars traded every year around the world in real estate. And the more that you can get organized and run it like a business, the more of that pie you can grab. But you're not going to get there if you always believe it's scarce. The next deal's scarce. I see agents killing each other in the same office over the same deal. Huh? I scratch my head. All you have to do is look in MLS and look at how much goes on. So give away your best information that shows the consumer, buyer or seller, what to do. Same with you recruiters out there. Give them a free course, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? You made the industry a little bit better by giving organization to people who need it, okay? But the next thing that happens is, okay, I'll bite. I'll do it. But now what? I'm broke. I'm sitting here. I have no prospects, Danny. Now it's on you. Okay, here I come. The next thing that you will understand is that as you're giving, you're able to get into conversation relatively easy. Now, I like to call that the act of prospecting. When you're giving away information, it changes the relationship. Look into Robert Cialdini's work in his book, Influence. It's that gift-giving principle, the law of reciprocity. When you give something to somebody, there's almost an obligation to give back. It's just a law. It's a triggering human behavioral law that happens. So what we get back is typically conversation. Now, that conversation can really, if I chunk it up, lead to one of two outcomes. One, yeah, I'm just not interested in your information. I'm just not interested in you. Great. That's fine. No problem. That information giving was allowing me to make that distinction that this is not a possibility. There's no potential there for me. But on the other side of giving that information, there is. Somebody says, gee, this is really good. I've never seen anything like this before. Thank you for giving that to me. And this could be in the context of an open house, or it could be in the context of somebody's referred to you and they want some information about you. You give them this course and it positions you. That's the other thing there. Okay, I'll get into that in a second too. But the next thing you do is, okay, great. Now the conversation's going, what other information can you give them? Now, if you've been on the internet even for a short period of time, you've seen offers and ads running, marketing just coming at you at the speed of light, and you click through to learn more, and they're always giving you something and leading you to the next level. So we should be copying that formulaic approach. If the conversation is going to continue, then the next point here is offer an upgrade of information. So in other words, in my world, I just gave away that free buyer, seller, or agent course, and the conversation continues. There's interest. They begin to lean in a little bit more. Well, the next thing I do is I offer an upgrade of information. Now, in the funnel world out there online, it's called an upsell. Well, it doesn't have to be sold here. It's just an upgrade. I'll give you more. Hey, you're interested. Isn't this great? It's working. How about I give you even more? And so realtors look at me, and just did a coaching call the other day with a bigger group, more rookies in that group. And I said, look, you're already paying for access to the information. And that's the information via MLS, the source to properties that sold. Sold information is just fascinating to me because that's actually what's telling us what's really going on in our marketplace. We all know that listings that come on that are active, they have some guidance in what's going on there and days on market, et cetera. But we know a lot of those are going to expire because pricing it right is a difficult thing, especially in a topsy-turvy economy. But what you can be certain about is when somebody says, yes, I'll pay that for this, it's sold. Now, that information is powerful to both buyer, yes, he said buyer too, and seller. I know the obvious is seller because you're all going to do your comparable market analyses based on some of these solds that are either like kind or in the neighborhood, et cetera, however you do yours. We won't go down that. I guess I'd open up a can of worms there if I start getting into that. But the key is solds. Why a buyer? Because, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if I upgrade you to get automatic updates of what's sold in the area that you want to live in or in the price range that you want to pay, right? Now you know what the money bought. So instead of not knowing that information, now you do. I know it's public and I know you could go search the internet and maybe find it. Why don't I make it easy? Why don't I just set it up? I'll upgrade your access to information and the upgrade of the detail of information that now is meaning more to you. See there in point 2? I've gone generally what to do, but now I'm offering an upgrade of information that's more specific to this human being and it matters to them and they appreciate that. You're paying attention to what matters to them. You're digging in and giving more. Now, here's the key spot where you cross over, and this has to do with positioning. That word needs to be in your psychology when it comes to how am I unique and how will I be perceived as unique? Well, if you followed the first couple of steps, I'll guarantee you already are unique. Nobody really takes the time to get a strategy laid out for buyers and sellers that's simple and gives that away as a what to do. So you'd already be headed in the right direction by positioning yourself as a strategic professional who's willing to give away his or her best stuff for free. But now, think about this. I'm in the third level of conversation, if you will. One was, hey, here's what to do. Hey, I can upgrade that information that matters to you. But third, here's what I think it means to you. Let that sink in. Here's what I think it means to you, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, whatever, right? I think it means this in your particular situation, and that's insight. And that's where you are going to be wildly unique, even if you're saying the same thing. Let's just make it really simple. So, for example, hey, as I'm showing you these sold properties, I wanted to follow up and let you know, I don't know if you notice this, the trend is the prices in your neighborhood are going up. That's insight, okay? I'm not saying that they couldn't decipher it themselves, but that's the first basic type of insight. Did you see that's happening? Did you see the properties that are getting top dollar have no deferred maintenance? And the ones that still have deferred maintenance are staying on the market longer. That's all insightful information. So you're going deeper into it and you're adding, what's insight mean? It means expertise. Now you're demonstrating that. It's a dramatic demonstration of your expertise. And now they're leaning in even further. And I think this is the point at which, if you'll be helpful like that with your insight, they're beginning to trust you. So you know this whole thing about know, like, and trust you. Okay, I guess I could attach it to this formula right here. Know you. Here's what to do. Oh, I know you as a professional now. Okay, like you. Hey, thanks for caring about me. I like you back. Trust you. That's interesting. You had a pretty good insight on this. I never thought of it that way. See how it goes? I mean, there's a real how to do this. You can't just walk around with these little quips. Oh, I have to know, like, and trust you. And you're walking around, just waxing on poetic about these little quips without understanding how to do it. Okay. Now, in my experience, he said, and that's vast because I do what you do every day and I obsess about making it better. What I noticed is that as we continue in our CRM to build out a personalization for each of these people, we're able to do it across more conversations and make everybody feel as special as possible. And what's happening is we're building a pipeline of prospects. Okay. A prospect to me is a contact who is engaged in conversation with us and listening to our insights and accepting them. It's allowing us to position ourselves as what? The only resource. I know it's going to be hard to believe. Oh, that's baloney. People just go out and they're talking to multiple realtors. I understand. I felt the same way. But in my experience, which is real, as I record this podcast, it's as real as can be. I am seeing that I'm ending up in houses for CMAs, as you would call them, or a listing presentation, and there's no other competition. Because I have given away so much instruction and insight, I don't know that I have any competition who's taken the time to do the same. So I find myself more infrequently being in a very highly competitive situation where everybody's given that first hour to do their presentation. And there's so much pressure in those situations to be so good in an hour and so impactful. It's a cattle call. I don't like that. I don't want to be in a business like that. I love what I do, but I don't want to be at this point in my career, nor would I have if I knew what I know today, nor would I have built my business like this. I like to really be serving people who appreciate what I'm doing for them professionally. And when it comes to business time, it's just a logical conclusion that they're going to list with me or buy with me. Okay, so let me chunk this up and review these bullet points again. It's a very important episode. This is all about information. I don't know if it's versus insight, even though I wrote that. Information versus insight. It's really that transformation as information becomes more insightful. So the first thing you do is give away your best information. That includes what to do for buyers, sellers, and if you're recruiting, agents. The next thing is offer an upgrade of that information. Go deeper. Use MLS, please. Will you? Would you get people on sold updates so buyers can see what the money can buy and sellers can see how the trend is affecting them in real time? And then next, you begin to add your insights to all that information. What does it mean to that individual, in your opinion? That will position you even deeper and start to build real professional trust. So that the last point is, you will create more competition-less business opportunities. Believe me, that's when you know your pipeline is working, okay? So let's summarize the key point here. He said, position yourself as a professional by giving away information and adding insights, okay? And remember, of course, you can take immediate action and get started in the right direction with what? My best stuff for free. Yes, our free video course for agents over at freeagentgift.com. Transparently, there I am giving away what to do. The same wireframe I follow and all of my coaching students follow. Of course, we go deeper into the insights in high-level coaching or group coaching, whatever it might be. All right? That's the key. But get over there and get started, please. If you like what you learned here, then of course I'd appreciate it if you'd share these insights with other entrepreneurially spirited real estate agents just like you so that they can find their way right here to join us. I'd appreciate it if you could spread the word. And of course, don't forget to subscribe or follow us on whichever platform you're listening. And a positive review is always appreciated if you're so moved to do so. We also broadcast our live sales training on Facebook every Friday. I give more stuff away, and that is insightful free stuff. Fridays, 1 p.m. EDT. Don't believe me? Go over to the Realty Classroom page on Facebook. They're all there, sitting there, waiting for you to go look at them right now. And remember, like the page while you're there so you won't miss the notifications when I go live. Hey, thanks for listening, and I look forward to helping you in the next episode.
You've been listening to The Realty Classroom with Danny Griffin. Join us next time to continue learning how to build a smarter real estate agent business plan that helps you live a more fulfilled life.